We're on it. We're on there. We're on there.
Oh, we've done it. I was just telling Jared about how I have definitely heard our intro at least once.
At least once. I'm the only one that gets to hear it.
Maybe on the demo when he sent me as well, so it might not even be like the mastered version of what you're actually hearing before the show starts. But welcome to the show. This is Talking Trash episode Who Knows Fuck What.
It is 29. It's episode 29. I quantified
episodes into numerics.
Well, I have to set up the whole episodes, so I figure it out. I figure it out on the day. I'm like, oh, okay.
What was the last one? 28. Okay,
28 with Camille. Yeah, because
there you go. That's a big step, man.
I need to make the thumbnail. That's why if we have a guest, I put their name in it, so I know what number it is. And that's...
We don't have a guest this week.
Nope, no guest. It's a short show.
Yeah, I mean, the topic points of this week is I'm just going to self-plug, and then talk about restructuring my Patreon. So yeah, that's like,
plug.
Okay, nice. That was a little...
See what I did?
There. For those listeners that weren't able to see that, Jaren literally put a plug
in a thing, because I've been playing with both the plug and some blue tack for the last half an hour, possibly more. Who knows?
Possibly more. Well, these are the things we do to pass time in isolation, lockdown, COVID that isn't apparent on us.
Yep. No, I'm not locked down at all. I went out and got ice cream today.
But have you found that you somewhat fall into the habits of COVID, isolation? Yeah, I should probably go home earlier and do things at home.
No. So it's not that, but what
He's an anti-masker. Oh my god.
No one wears masks down here because we don't have a single case. But what we do have is Big Brother watching us. Well, look at that. Oh, but so this is a QR code scanner, and literally to go into any store, you have to scan a QR code. The government knows where you are.
And you know what you can't see in any store? The movie Twist, available now on very select streaming services.
Oh, shit. Do you actually know where it's out?
So you can get it on Sky Cinema, Now TV, but you must have a UK suburb address to sign up for either of those things. So good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. All right.
I was able to get access, but I can't then preview it to the wider audience.
What about other streaming services? Did Netflix pick it up?
Netflix hasn't picked it up, buddy.
Oh, shit.
It's got 1 star on Rotten Tomatoes, so we're doing pretty well as far as the ratings are concerned, as far as pop culture.
Who is the main character? Who actually is Oliver Twist? And can you give listeners a background so I don't just...
Yeah, the main character, Oliver Twist, is played by Jude Law's son, Raph Law. And Raph has, no claims to be, he's not,
he's not Jude Law?
He's not, no, but he's not how do I say? He's not fixated with celebritism. He just likes the crafts. He's a musician by trade.
Yeah, right.
And a really down-to-earth person who just, had time for everything and was just explaining, this is just another avenue to him to pursue, his craft and his, stretch his creative feathers, per se.
Yep, I get it.
I mean, he's more in the trove of the love of the craft, that intrinsic, I acted before because I like doing performance.
Well, all creativity leads into other creativity. When you get down to the base of it, I guess.
Yeah, so this is his first leading role in a wider film.
How old is he? How old do you need to be?
18 or 19.
How old is Oliver Twist? I thought, isn't Oliver Twist the guy that's please, sir, can I have some more? Therefore needs to be...
Well, it's a modern retelling of Oliver Twist.
But
so it's
still,
not
Oliver Twist was 7 years old. What's going on here, Jude Law's son?
So, it's a modern retelling where instead of being street beggars, these guys are art thieves or...
cyber criminals.
They're a little bit more in touch with today's grifting.
All right.
And that sort of thing.
Is it kind of like Ocean's 11 though, do they have like the Asian that like shuts down the security cameras and things like that? Did they make a
Like
squad?
all the necessary PC cultural appropriations too, and then but also like paying horrible stereotypes at the same time. Not so much. Not so
No,
much. I
like a
feel like with
heist
this one,
film.
it is kind of like a heist film in a way. But let's talk more about the opening scene because
All
that's
right,
like
all
probably
right.
the best part.
So I just watched this. Dom is doing basically the opening scene to that movie, District 13, but more
Yeah.
cinematic. I was actually I was waiting for like a fucking manpower gap as the
Yeah.
last thing.
Well, everything was shot at night, so and it was also uh, winter in London, and
Mm-hmm.
so winter London, moss, icy. The
Damn.
size of things, and it was actually rainy. You can see in a lot of the footage, like it's like wet. We were doing parkour in the wet. And what happened there was that opening segment is shot between the production company on like the on set and on camera, and then half was actually shot by Stora, and we did that like
The
freelance guerrilla, like secret location that they know, and we just banged out a few lines um, in one evening, just kind of like with ourselves and BTS camera crew.
That's
Um,
amazing. It's amazing that
so
they could put that in the film.
Well, this is what's really interesting is so then when I watch the film, I'm watching and I'm like, hold on, that's Benj. Hold on, like I know that movement from being like articulated in the movement side of things. I know I can recognize when Ryan isn't Ryan Doyle, who was the stunt double I was working with. And so what it turns out, speaking to stories, they actually ended up doing a lot of reshooting and a lot of extra work then from that, and got like to do more work with the twist film and kind of bring it all together with some extra stuff that was done post production. So like extra
Damn.
action, just reshoots of some of the stunt stuff, but also just their own, like the whole opening segment where Oliver's running across the rooftops. Like I just know from my curated eye that was done by Stora, and it's all done on their rooftops and in their styling. And then they've
Hmm.
just overlaid the thing, and that's so cool that they were able to get like really in depth and bring parkour. Like the one thing that the film really did well was make parkour look cool. It like made parkour like like reachable, like not that crazy like District B13 where it's like wow,
Yeah,
it
like
made
a
it like
Jackie Chan
cheeky and
style.
fun,
Yeah, yeah.
somewhat, yeah. And like it also didn't they, because they got story in to amplify the level. I like I'd love to think it was just because they saw the stuff that we shot together and they're like, okay, this really could be escalated in the film, and then they took like asked them to do more with that. But it could just be obviously their work speaks volumes for itself. um the, yeah, but having the say and like having to get that kind of creative control in a film is like a really big deal for, I guess, for us as parkour athletes. And like
Mm-hmm.
even with my kind of line and stuff in there, they were very much like, what would work for you here? What can we do here? And like I would suggest things that would then, like all of that opening segment in the library and stuff.
Yep.
There was a lot of like back and forward with deciding like what route to take and what shots, and then they were kind of listening to my creative ideas as well, like taking that on board, which is just like coming in as like, yeah, you're a specialist, but just like a guy who does jumps, and then to have all these people who are like working in the industry really respect what you're saying and like respect your opinion on those sort
Mm-hmm.
of things was really cool, because I think that's where you're going to get the truest results, is when you like let the athletes kind of have a little bit of I'd say like you just put your barriers up. If you're bowling, just put the gutters up,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can't really gut a ball if you have a couple of people there just making sure it like goes in the straight and narrow and stays on like what's true to kind of parkour and reality check as well.
Yeah, of course. Oh, where was the library?
London Library.
Oh my god. It reminds
Yes,
me
that
of
was really cool.
it reminds me of GoldenEye. I don't know, there's some chase scene in GoldenEye. He ends up in a tank, but it has that kind of grating. And I don't know, I think
Yeah.
they like fire guns
So
into it.
that it was actually really hard to like. One of the things I do is drop down through the floor there,
Yeah, yeah.
and like it was actually really hard to remove that grate because it was like super heavy. It took like quite a few guys after getting lots of
Shit.
permission to make sure. And then when we moved it, like, because if it fell through or anything like that, it would like just fuck up the whole life. So everyone had to be like super precautious and stuff like that. And
Shit.
even when I was doing the action in there, like, I'm pretty sure I kicked the camera at one point, but that was like, I was like so worried about hitting the bookshelves
That the
and,
camera
like,
didn't matter.
yeah, like that. It reigned lower on the tier of priority of what you could bash into.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, can't, like, you know, you shouldn't hit the camera, you shouldn't hit the books, but the books are more important right now. Like, it was crazy to be working in a kind of structured environment like that where there were so many like guidelines. And even you can see, like, when I'm running, I'm not like fully running or anything. I can't get like, yeah, like I'm almost like shuffling or wiggling because it's like you can't get a full pace run through there.
Yeah, I think like,
And like,
that's the first thing I noticed when you started running. I'm like, oh, you run like this, like,
yeah, and like I would have, you know, I didn't see any of that externally, but it's something like to take on board next time. Is like, maybe, because like, when you do movement, you just think about what's the most effective. I'm just gonna shuffle my way here, like,
yeah.
But maybe like to find like just a more natural
medium.
movement that's more like, yeah, happy medium to what like a more normal person who doesn't do parkour for every second of the day of their life that would do.
Yeah, of course. Well, if you think about it, even like a parkour run wouldn't look super legit in a movie. Like where you're like kind of straight arm kind of thing.
Yeah.
People would be like, that's not how people run, or that's not how people think people run. So you can't do that.
That one. It's not how people think people run. Like, it's the perception is everything there. And I think a lot of cut shots and stuff. It's cool because I wasn't doing anything that was like, you know, so crazy that I was like, you know, it was like anything within 80% threshold. I wasn't ever like pushing to my maximum. But what was really cool about that, now I've lost my train of thought.
Pushing to your maximum.
Yeah, but before that,
before that, all right.
I mean, we could probably watch back the podcast another time and check it out, but
yeah,
I'm not going to do that now.
No, it's not happening.
But anyway,
you were in a film.
No, I was going to say there was actually a acting dialogue scene that I had across from Lena Headey, the actor who plays Sykes in the film.
Oh, so what did you say?
My scripting was something like she was like, sure. I was like, I don't have it. No, I do. Like, just back and forthing between arguing.
Yeah, I get you.
And then it was just set up so that she could like push me off the roof. But it's just one of those things that hit the editing room floor. But I am, in a way, I'm like nervous that wasn't a great performance on my side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, if it didn't make the film and it wasn't very good, then that's okay, because then no one will see that I wasn't very good. I still got like the personal, you know, got to act across from someone of that profile and really learn those like things and be like a part of that. But then, yeah, even if it didn't make the cut, that's still okay.
Was she super nice?
Yeah, Lena Headey is like just like super normal and super down to earth, which is what I found with anyone that I've talked to of like a super high profile. They're just people, and like, you know, she might have all the acclaim of 20 years, but she doesn't act like she's holier than thou or anything like that.
You don't last very long if you do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, she just came off the back of Game of Thrones, so she, you know, was in a very like well-known state, but you wouldn't have read it on her. She just wanted to act and get the best scene done, and that was like super. Yeah, it just made it super normal and super comforting the whole way through.
Yeah, nice.
I didn't meet Rita Ora. Damn shame.
Do I need to look her? I need to look her.
Rita Ora is a big time singer who is moving into acting. Musician.
Rita Ora.
But I didn't get to meet her.
Yes, she is.
She used to date Livewire, actually, I believe.
Oh, really? So if I type Livewire in here,
would be Tim Sheep, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I just thought it would be funny if something came up there.
I didn't even know. He used to date someone famous, but yeah, she was in it, and Michael Caine, who I only got to like briefly pass a handshake with at one point.
Was he like, I'm Michael Caine?
Yes, he definitely said his own name to me.
I thought
That would be
everyone
a totally
talked.
normal thing for him
Yeah.
to say, Jared.
I thought that that's how everyone talked in third person. Basically,
That's
yes.
it. I was like, I'm Domtomato.
Yeah.
In a really stupid voice as well, yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, you sound
I
like
said
you're
in a
from
really
London.
awkward I said in a really awkward Australian accent. Oh, I'm Domtomato.
Yeah. Do you know I can't do an Australian accent?
You're doing it right now, Jared.
No,
You're living it.
like,
No, buddy, you are. You are doing an Australian accent right now.
I don't know, but some
That's
people,
how you speak.
some
I'm
people
sorry,
are like,
mate.
oh, you're from Australia, and they'll do a better Australian accent than I can do.
Oh, you're just talking stereotypes, though. You're
Yeah, like I can't do a stereotypical Australian accent. Can't do it.
Basically, what you need to do is practice so you can be more nasal, and then you can talk like our former Prime Minister John Howard, and that way you can be really Australian, because he teaches you how to exaggerate the A's and R's and everything.
Oh, Jesus.
Really draw it out as you speak, you know.
We sure are
But
Australian.
never speak out of anywhere except for your nose.
And then if you wanted to brave that into like Big Les, then you're just like, oi, cunt, listen here, down here, fucking yeah, brah. And you just got to swear a lot because Australians apparently only swear.
But that's the thing, is it's like a stereotype, but then it's kind of true.
Yeah.
It's like really, really true.
That's probably like the 30th swear word that's been dropped in the podcast, and it's been like 10 minutes. So.
I don't notice it when I swear.
Yeah, but that's, I think, Australian society definitely uses swearing with less like punch than other societies.
It's
You
true.
know what I mean? It's
true. We use the C word. Yes, we do.
We use it as a compliment, so everything is desensitized from there.
It's true. This is an interesting segue, because like we go from there to your other acting work, which is Ultimate Tag.
Ultimate tag.
Do you know we haven't even talked about that here? Like,
Yes,
not in
well,
detail.
Well, obviously we can't go into too much detail.
Oh, you still
of
can't
anything,
go.
But now
It's been like
I
3
can
months.
tell. Well, it's not aired yet, buddy, so I can't talk about what happens on the show at all.
Oh my
obviously.
God, you're not an Australian household name yet? Damn.
God, no.
Damn.
That sounds awful. Imagine people started listening to this podcast, Jaron, we'd be fucked.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, yeah, so I did this show called Ultimate Tag. You may have seen the US version, but I am the character, the Dominator. And we did a lot of promo stuff. So there's a lot of me like chasing people around in silver pants. What I can tell you is that those silver pants did not breathe at all. And I often could not wear them except for when I was chasing people on set.
You just had like super sweaty balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really cool. And they like were really kind of accommodating to the parkour input and the parkour knowledge. I also had a chance to work with them before the show launched, helping kind of put together some of the course and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So just, overall, it also gave a lot of parkour people, or a lot of people in the Australian community opportunity to, get a 6-week gig, 8-week gig, doing parkour and freerunning full time, just chasing people.
Yep. What else do you want?
So they had the twins, who are Rapid and Razor, and then we've got Ghost, who I will leave a mystery because obviously that is part of it.
Because he's a ghost.
He's a ghost, man.
Oh,
you know what
shit.
a ghost is. And then there's the kid, who's Kaduri, and Hollywood, on wood.
That's a
Definitely
bad
my
pun.
favorite character. Yeah, it's a bad pun. Like that's the best. Like Hollywood is my favorite character. On like of all the gladiators that we're impersonating, he's the best. Is my and like the Dominator's favorite is Hollywood. But also, so Greg Eccles was the eagle, and it was cool because Greg's one of those people who doesn't necessarily train all the time, but his like level of an athlete is like next to none due to like the level of like that he trained himself to, but also like the physicality of the person. Like he's just put together like a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
He's so lanky and long and light and just like, you know, you got the twins there and you've got kid there who can jump like immense distances. They're known for big jumps, and Greg can just do a foot further.
Yeah.
Or just do it without as much run up, or like he's just built differently, and it's crazy to watch on the screen when that all transpires. Like he's got gangle, he's got reach, and that's something also that I didn't take into account as much until like the first day of it. It's not just parkour; you have to take tags. You can't just touch them.
Yeah.
Sort of get to them and touch
That's
them.
an interesting
you have to
thing.
Take tags. And
Did,
that was a whole new experience.
Did American
for all of us
Ultimate
to
Tag
learn.
do that?
Yes, they did have tags as well.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know. I feel like our tag, like it's just. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm just cheapening it, but I'm like our tags were harder to get. But it's like they were some of the men like because they'd be running these courses, and all they had to do is just like shift. If you got you get your fingertips to a tag, and they just shift and like just slip out your fingers because if you didn't get the right pull. And we're also like as taggers, we're also doing our part really to not mess up the players. So we're not trying to interfere with them running.
Yeah.
Our job isn't to like block them. We're not blockers, we're taggers. So your job is to get out of their way and take the tag. The tag is more valuable than you stopping them.
Yeah, this
And so,
isn't
like-
actually Gladiators, which would be amazing. If they bring back Gladiators, you should try and get
Bro.
on that shit. That'd be
I would
amazing.
die. Imagine like anyone like double my size just running through me. Like people think I'm big until I see like you see me next to like a big person. You're like, oh, he's not that big.
Yeah, but do you remember what Gladiators was? Also getting focus. But do you remember like the whole premise of Gladiators? It was basically like a Ninja Warrior with a lot more foam. And then they
Yeah,
had
and
and then
people-
they did the thing with the thing.
That's what I just remember from
Yeah,
it,
that's
is, like
that's the one I remember.
I mean, that's probably the most famous trope, but I think like really like that was still like you still had to go up against people. It's like running the gauntlet of like a rugby style
Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to an invasion style. Like, you know, one thing like even we were like encouraging as the team of taggers. Oh, and this is something I should explain to people as well. So I was employed as a professional tagger, and the challengers come up against the taggers and run a set of different courses. And so our job is to take tags off people, and that will eventually like so you know they have different values. So like I think like time scores and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Different
right.
penalties, that's the word I'm using.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
different penalties. And so our job is to basically take those tags as penalties and impede or heed the players from progressing in the competition.
Interesting. So
does
it's
that
not
round
like
it out?
take your tag and you're out, mate. It's not like that at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like in certain rounds, that is the case. There is like basically sudden death. Like, you know, first one to lose their tag is kind of done.
Damn, sucks
But
to be that
other
person.
situation. So there's multiple different games of tag, and that's what's really cool about it is to watch. You'll see over the series people progress in not only their skills but the courses as they change. It will lead to different people's skill sets and stuff like that.
How do you watch this if you're not someone that watches TV anymore? You know, like half of the world.
Well, I assume I really don't know,
Like, does
but I mean, with the American one, they just on YouTube somehow.
yeah,
I don't know.
right.
But like, I assume there'll be a way that you can stream it online.
Yeah, does Channel
with
7 have
streaming
an?
services?
Do they have a
7
streaming
Plus.
service? Oh, there's
They got
7
all their shit
Plus.
down. Yeah, they're really on top of it. Like I went and investigated after working for Channel 7 on the show and also doing some parts extra work on Home and Away. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, just like get Channel 7 to be in the know-how, so when the show does come out, I can like, you know, be up to date. And like their whole network is like they got like 10 different. They got 7, but like 10 different 7 channels that
Damn.
run different lifestyle shit and all that sort of stuff. And I think like 9 and 10 all have that network as well. But I don't watch much TV, so it's really hard for me to.
Oh, so that's why when I'm at like because I've got, I think, 3 gym memberships, and one of them is Snap Fitness, and it's like the worst one out of them all. But they basically play just, it's hunting and 4-wheel driving and like storage wars, and that's the only thing on this whole channel. It's like Bogan's Supreme channel.
Exactly. They've got their like specific demographics where they can get like 1 million viewership for sure, and they just get their channels, and then people like subscribe to the 7 service now. So it's just they're in a way they're making themselves, versatile and adapting to industry.
That it does make a lot more sense, yeah, because like now you're not limited by having that radio frequency. So now you can have a television channel with lots of different divisions.
Yes, and you can also have like the shows readily available for then people to watch as well as an option. So like you could have like the 7 series home and away, and then it might have all of their episodes somewhere. I haven't really investigated. But for example, they'll have certain network shows that are made by 7 or like have been purchased by 7 as a network that then you can stream separately. So you can just watch that show like a streaming service. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, question. Did this whole experience give you a certain sense of the thrill of the chase, and you're like, oh, if I was in the Northern Hemisphere, I'd get on a ultimate chase tag team?
Oh, World Chase Tag wise?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been keen to do World Chase Tag. I've just never been like in the conversations to make it happen. I believe there is a conversation happening where I'm like subbed party 2 with an Australian team.
Australia has a team?
Well, Kadori is hot on the train to put together a team for me, the twins, me, him.
That would be a legit team.
Ollie Lister. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, we do have like a lot of fucking power package people who'd be awful to go up against in a game of tag.
Would Ollie Lister wear his morph suit with no arms?
Yeah, but I think there's also that's just at his rough 5, I believe. Like there's other people, like I would always take Marks to one of those because fuck running away from Marks.
That wouldn't be great.
World Chase Tag would be a great place for him.
Yeah, just like
really appropriate.
Get the taste of blood and go nuts.
But yeah, like because I think that's some of it as well. Is like like I'd be daunted just going up against the twins in a game of World Chase Tag.
Yeah, of course.
It's the twins. You know what I mean? Like they're so which I also don't. I think for me, it's good that people don't stereotypically think I'm fast. So a lot of the time they'd be like, "Yeah, nah, it's fine. It's dumb." I'm more. What's that word? So I'm more overrated than I am actually good. So it's fine.
Oh, I've always thought that about you anyway.
I'm not like. There's no delusion about that from my end. But speaking of which, streaming services and delusion from my end, I'm going to restructure my Patreon, I believe, and make the $1 a week this and bring the $12 tier down, head of production down to the 12. So it's like $3. Because I was thinking like asking people to pay $10 per video, that's pretty fucking steep.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Like, so $3 a video seems way more tangible to me. And that's after just like the month of kind of seeing or 2 months of seeing how it all plays out and that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, it's like nothing is fixed. You just
I'm just going to make those adjustments and then rebrand it, resell it to all of you, and hopefully get a few more of you on board to kind of get that exclusive content. And now I'm also working harder on that exclusive content now that I've got the rhythm going with that, how I want to like produce that and give you that different flavor with that as well. Is like I'm working more on like they might be shorter videos, but they're like a wholesome nice watch. They're like always a good like chunk and interval of time as opposed to necessarily like a bunch of messy edits. I like to give people like a day of my training, and that may be like a super crazy day, like the first stuff I posted, or maybe a super blasé day, but more focused on like Like
Chilling.
I'll explain more things and get into the. Well, no, I'll explain more things and get into the nitty gritty of it, a bit more.
Oh, that's good.
Speaking of which, I
Yeah.
also wanted to say thank you to anyone that is watching this video, because I've noticed that my viewership has been growing over the past month. It's been gone up 5K
Wow.
subscribers on YouTube, and I think that's just due to, like, you know, the steady posting and the structured posting. I think if you can let us know in the comments if that's something that's working for you. Is having that regular weekends and Wednesdays to tune into those videos. And also I revamped the whole like bio and description, that sort of thing, and fixed all my tags. And, you know,
I remember going through that. What I was going, because I was the one that alerted you to that. And what was it? Like your bio had something that was super outdated.
Get me to 100K.
Yeah, right.
Follow me on my journey to 100K, and it was like I was on 140K.
Yeah, good times.
Updated. Yeah, well, I'm not big on playing like the YouTube game, and I'm not using YouTube for games. I really just like making content, and people will consume it out there. So that's on you. I'm just gonna keep making it.
Yeah.
Seems to be working fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think
it's fun to tell stories.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And I think
Yes.
this has been a fun story to tell today.
Oh,
but I
it's
think
been
we
a lot.
can call our short story show a short story show.
Not actually very short.
No.
Been going
No,
for
but we did it.
3/4 of an hour.
We did it. Holy shit, fuck off.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. We're going for half an hour, Jaron. 32. I reckon that's my counter.
Nah, not at all, because I'm the one that controls this, and it's 43, mate. Mate. All right. Thank you for watching. To do, boom,